Hello everybody, my name is 711 and today I have a very exciting Battle Draft Format League Recap video. Today, this is the Irish Emerald Discord League Season 3. Now I've been around since Season 1, but with the Pokemon Battle Association going on, um, you know, I wanted to do a lot of stuff for the PBA, and the Irish Emerald Discord League was just a nice league to have fun and battle, and I didn't feel like uploading it, like giving it too much attention on YouTube, and even then, it didn't seem like I had enough time and energy to put the same amount of effort into uploading 2 leagues on my channel. So that's why I haven't uploaded the IDL Season 1 or Season 2. And so now I feel like doing it because this is a Tier 3 and below draft. What that basically means is all those top tier threats like Garchomp, like Tapu Koko, like Celesteela, like Zygarde, 50%, all of those Pokemon are gone in this format. And so you get to deal with a lot of Pokemon that haven't been really big, like Darmanitan, like maybe Ambipom, or low-ish tier stuff like that either don't get a chance to shine because something does it better, like for example Herdier, like that line with the Sand Rush. It can be pretty threatening in this tier, but it is outclassed by Excadrill. You know what I'm saying? Or it could be a Pokemon that just doesn't get a chance to compete whenever there's just all these top tier threats. So without further ado, let's get into this draft recap. And by the way, all Z moves, like any Pokemon that I draft, can use a Z move, and there are no Mega Evolutions in this draft. So I got 11th pick out of 12 in this draft, and so what I did, which is a little sketchy, but I'm not the first one to do this, is that I was talking about a lot of other Pokemon that are still high tier, deserved round 1 picks, but I talked up some other Pokemon and I diverted my attention to the pick that I wanted. And so by the time I got down to the 11th pick, it was still around, and I drafted Dusklight Rock, which I'm going to be nicknaming Beowulf. So Beowulf, yeah, it's pretty fast, pretty powerful, tough claws boosted. That's pretty exciting. So yeah, it gets lots of coverage, gets Stealth Rock, gets Accelerock, which is very nice, very nice, because everything outspeeding Dusklight Rock is either going to take a lot of damage or even is super effective. So stuff that's faster than it. Crobat, Aerodactyl, Excelgor, Jolteon, what else? Tornadus, Salazzle. All these Pokemon are faster than Dusklight Rock, but don't want to take an Accelerock. It's either a lot of damage or super effective and a lot of damage. So yeah, Dusklight Rock should be fun time using Dusklight Rock. Next, oh, and by the way, since it's 11 out of 12, these are semi-wheel picks, so I basically drafted these Pokemon in pairs for the most part. So the next Pokemon, which was just 2 picks later, is Swellow, which is Winona. Shout out to the 6th Pokemon gem from Hoenn, who it was Winona, and in the anime, to distinguish between Winona's ace in Swallow and Ash Ketchum's Swallow. The gym leader used a shiny Swallow, and so I'm going to be using a shiny Swallow as well. So this Pokemon is exceedingly fast at base 125. Fairly mediocre stats otherwise, but I can make it work. You know, Flame Orb Guts or Specs. With Scrappy. This Pokemon is gonna be tough to switch it in if you don't have a good Rock type or a good Steel type. Sometimes even an Electric type will scare it out. But you know, Winona gets U-turn, and yeah, so hopefully Swallow can put in a lot of work for me. The next time I picked seemed like ages later, and I felt like getting some bulk. I felt like getting some really bulky Pokemon would be really nice after drafting 2 very frail Pokemon. And so by the time it came to me, I said, you know what, I have to draft this Pokemon, Shaymin, which I'm going to be nicknaming Grace. So show me a weakness in its stats. I'll wait. That's what I thought. So, yeah, Shaymin has great stats all around, base 100. Shaymin is somehow legal in this format. It doesn't have a huge variety of move pool. It gets Grass Coverage, Earth Power, Air Slash, Psychic, Dazzling Gleam. I think that's about it. But even then, Shaymin can be great for using as a wall, you know, like a sub-Leech Seed set with Synthesis. Shaymin can be pretty annoying in that respect. Good in resisting ground-type moves. You guys are going to see I'm going to get a couple ground resists and several ground immunities. So I really don't want to see much ground spam from such things like a Nidoking or a Crocodile. So yeah, that's Grace, guys. And then just two picks later, I felt like drafting some more bulk, and here is Umbreon. I'm going to be nicknaming Eclipse. So base 95 is slightly under Shaymin, but 110 defense and 130 special defense. This thing is going to be tough to take down. Umbreon is a great Wish Passer, and that's going to keep my other Pokemon healthy. Next up, let's see here. Next up, it took a good long while, you know, to draft again. I felt like drafting a little extra bulk, and I felt like drafting some more hazard support and switching initiatives, you know, that sort of stuff. And so I drafted Mistress, which I couldn't think of a great nickname, so I'm going to go with Charmed, which is Irish Emerald's nickname for a Mistress. So Mistress gets a lot of coverage moves and gets Stealth Rock, gets U-turn. So overall, it's a pretty nice Pokemon to have. Gives me the Trick Room option if I'm up against a really fast team, maybe, you know, a Sand team or any weather team with boosting speed. So yeah, hopefully Charmed can put in a lot of work for me. Charmed is a great Z-move user. So there's Charmed. After that, just a couple more picks later, I felt like going like more offense. And so I picked a Pokemon that I haven't used in a while, but a Pokemon that's very near and dear to my heart. And that would be Hitmonlee. So Bruce Lee is returning to the PBA. I'm sorry, returning to the Pittsburgh Thunderbolts. But not even the PBA. New league, new time around, new coaches. So, you know, base 120 attack is awesome. Can't take a physical hit too well, but yeah, it gets loads of coverage moves. You know, close combat, high jump kick, gets blaze kick, earthquake, knockoff. You know, you basically just have to pick between those moves, essentially. So yeah, that's Hitmonlee for you guys. Unburdened, really fast Pokemon. And I felt like getting an electric type, and I was really feeling Magneton, and maybe not picking Magneton was a mistake. But by the time it got to me, I thought, you know what, I don't want to prep against this Pokemon. I'd rather have this Pokemon than prep against it. And this is an all-star in the Irish Emerald history of League battling, and I've used this Pokemon as well to some pretty good success, and so I said, you know what, I'm going to draft Solar Panel. Heliolisk, the Solar Panel the Heliolisk, I should say. Yeah, a little bit tongue-tied there. So, base 109 attack, special attack, 109 speed. That is excellent. You know, Solar Panel sometimes doesn't stand out in the upper tiers whenever you have stuff like Mega Lopunny, you know, Pokemon that boost like Zygarde, Haxorus. You know, so a lot of these Pokemon really don't allow Heliolisk to shine, and so I'm able to hopefully get in a couple kills with Solar Panel, you know? It'll be a good time. Good time. Even Solar Panel does work against ground types with both Surf and Grass Knot coverage with Z-move potential. Ground types gotta watch out. And you know what? As of right now, I have 1 immunity, 1 resist, and 1 levitator, so ground types aren't looking all that great against me anyway. And you'll see that I have even more. So that's Solar Panel. And just a couple picks later, I felt like getting some more bulk Pokemon that can easily shut down teams if they're not, you know, substantially prepped for this Pokemon. And I decided to go with Alomomola, which I'm going to be nicknaming Mega Love Disc. Base 165 HP is insane, and that allows Alomomola to be an excellent physical wall. You know, there's no Milotics running around, so that's nice for me in terms of I'll never have to prep for that monster. Yeah, Alomomola can hopefully put in a lot of work if I'm somehow able to get rid of, you know, some electric and grass types. You know, Hitmonlee is going to be able to help with that using Earthquake and Blaze Kick, close combat. Swallow can help, Dusklight Rock can help. Alomomola can really just stall out a team, and it should be a good time. And so, after Alomomola, there were several picks where I didn't get to pick again, and I'm waiting, and I felt like I needed another spinner. Hitmonlee is not a very reliable spinner, because as you spin, then a Pokemon hits you and you may die. And there goes a huge offensive threat in Hitmonlee if you're going to use it as a spinner. So my next Pokemon, I'm very lucky that this Pokemon made it this far in the draft to round 9, I believe. And it is Claydol Landmine, which is an interesting nickname because not only does it explode like a landmine does, but also it's a play on words for being a ground type and a psychic type. So Landmine is an excellent nickname for a Claydol. It is pretty bulky, you know, 105 and 120, which means that it's 60 HP it is bad, but it's not as bad as it could be. Like, it is a little bulkier than it looks. So it can rapid spin. Base 75 speed is right in that range where it can be decently used as a choice Scarfmon, and, you know, bop some Pokemon, because it does have a fairly good move pool, being like Earth Power and Ice Beam and you know, the Psychic type coverage. base 70 attack and special attack means that I can run mixed. I can run like 3 special moves and then quick explosion with like a hasty nature. So that's something to be thinking about whenever other teams are prepping against me. So yeah, that is Claydol as Landmine Claydol. And so just a couple picks later, I was looking at 2 normal types. I know I already have 2 normal types. I have Swellow and Heliolisk. But between these 2 Pokemon, I was thinking about what's that Pokemon called? Kamala, and I was thinking about Miltank. So Miltank, what does it do? It gives me another Stealth Rock user. I have 3 Stealth Rock users already, being Dusklight Rock, Mistress, and Claydol. Miltank is a wall that can recover. Miltank is a Pokemon that can be a setup offense Pokemon. It is a good support Pokemon with like Heal Bell and Toxic and stuff like that. Now Kamala is a great Pokemon that can absorb any status in the game. Kamala is good at rapid spinning. Kamala has very high attack as it is, and it can set up. It gets priority in Sucker Punch. But Kamala is slower, and Kamala is not as defensive. So, do I want to, both Pokemon were excellent types. Both Pokemon can fit on my draft. Both Pokemon, are not bad options. But I ended up going with Miltank, Whitney the Miltank. Mostly because my buddy Corey is so good at using Miltank, and he suggested I use Miltank. So yeah, here's Miltank. 95 HP, 105 defense, 70 special defense. It can be used as a special wall or a physical wall. It, like I said, it's a recovering wall, and hopefully Miltank can do a lot of work for me. And in this draft, you are required to draft 2 NFE Pokemon. NFE being not fully evolved. Now there are some not fully evolved Pokemon that are not NFE, such as Frogadier, such as Magmar, such as Electabuzz, such as Doublade, and Chansey. Chansey and Blissey were banned anyway in this league. But yeah, looking at the NFE Pokemon, the best Pokemon there was Pikachu, and that one got drafted. And so ultimately I decided that I needed a Steel type, and I didn't want to draft Clang, and so I drafted Ord the Lairon. So Ord is an interesting nickname. It comes from Dragon Tales, Ord being one of the bigger dragons in the series. And Lairon does get Dragon Rush, and I think it may even get Outrage, so be careful about that. But also, like, the Aron line does like to eat iron ore in Pokédex, I believe it says, so Ord is a nice nickname. 140 defense with the Eviolite means that it can switch into most physical hits, not a physical fighting hit or a ground type hit. But you know what? Looking back at my draft as of right now, I have 1 flying type, I have 2 levitators, and I have a ground type. And I'm going to spoil my next Pokemon levitates as well. So yeah, don't bring ground spam against me. So because I have lots of answers, and so I may even bring a lot of answers. So yeah, Lairon, Ord, great Pokemon all around. And you know what? With its physical bulk, I may not even need to bring Eviolite. I may just bring Air Balloon, and then I can threaten ground types with, some coverage moves. Maybe it might be weak to Iron Head. I think it gets Aqua Tail. Yeah, So that's Leiron, guys. And for the final pick, yeah, I really wasn't going to think a whole lot into these NFE Pokemon because they just don't typically put in a lot of work. And I hope to see that some of them do, but it's going to be tough. But yeah, the last Pokemon in this draft is Mistress, which I'm going to nickname Mistress. So, base 60 defense, base 85 special defense is not horrible. It is bulkier than Mistrevious's evolution, Mismagius. So it is bulkier than its evolved form. You know, and it gets the same move pool. You know, it gets Will-O-Wisp, gets Nasty Plot, gets Trick Room, gets Perish Song, gets Destiny Bond. You know, all these kind of gimmicky sort of sets that Mr. Biss just might be able to catch someone off guard with. And then it gets Thunderbolt, it gets Shadow Ball, it gets Psychic, it gets some nice coverage moves in that respect. So that is my team, guys. If you take a look around, there's no Fairy type, but I do have Fairy type coverage in a couple of Pokemon. I don't have the best Steel type, but hopefully it can put in a lot of work. I have a pretty interesting balance between offense and defense. I have a pretty nice balance with hazards, and I have U-turn and Volt Switch potential. I think I have all of the stuff to, you know, have a good team, to have a winnable team. I think that I have a team that can really make coaches prep for a few specific threats, and I have a couple specific threats that may not be easy to cover for all of them. So yeah, I do like my team, and I like every Pokemon on this team, maybe except the NFE Pokemon, but hopefully I'll get a chance to bring at least one of them. But yeah, I have a lot of offense, I have a lot of speed. Some Pokemon that, you know, are above that threshold of, like, and you know, in tier 1 drafts, you want Pokemon that are over base 100 speed. Well, in these drafts, there's a lot of Pokemon in like the base 80 to 90 range. So Pokemon over base like 92 is considered fast. And I have at least 4 that are pretty fast. So yeah, guys, let me know who your favorite Pokemon is in my draft. Let me know who you think is going to get the most kills, and thank you guys for sticking around so long. And now for some roasting time. What was I thinking? Oh my goodness, this draft is horrible. Definitely the 12th out of 12. So, if you look at this, you know, I thought Dusklight Rock would be great and such. You know, lots of people said it would be great. Then I look at Dusklight Rock and look at those pitiful defenses. Probably dies to a Mud Slap. Just run Mud Slap on everything because, you know, it was a TM back in Gen 3, so everything gets Mud Slap. So just Mud Slap Beowulf and gone. Winona, I thought that it would be, you know, it would be hard hitting. No, it's not. Swellow was horrible in Gen 3, and it still is. I mean, Electrode just bops it. Goodbye, Swellow. Then I thought I'd get some bulk. Oh look, a Pixie. Grace. Oh, that should be wonderful. Wrong. If you look at all the other Pixies, look at Mew, look at Celebi, look at Jirachi, Manaphy, Victini. All the other Pixies have a very special move in common that really boosts their viability, and that's U-turn. And guess which Pixie does not get U-turn? Shaymin. And guess which Pixie I picked? Shaymin. Well, there goes that idea down the drain. Look at Eclipse. It can't hit anything to save its life. It just doesn't hit anything hard whatsoever. I mean, and then there's like Fighting type, which is everywhere. you know, fighting type hits like 5 things super effective, so Eclipse is like gone to a fighting type move. What's after Eclipse? Better be something good. Oh, nope, never mind. The only thing that you do good is Healing Wish, so you're dead anyway. Next, Bruce Lee. How do you eat? Can I ask, how do you eat? Or how do you hear? Do you hear through your fingers? What is up with this thing? Oh my goodness, this draft is so horrible. I don't know how you guys talked me into drafting any of these Pokemon. So, Solar Panel, yeah, okay, he's pretty good. Not gonna lie about that. Mega Love Disc, the Alomomola, again, like Umbreon, can't hit anything, dies to a Thunderbolt, and everything gets Thunderbolt. So, rip to that. Claydol, you have 6 weaknesses. 6 weaknesses, and there are 18 types. That means you are weak to 1 in 3 moves. And guess what? Pokemon get 4 move slots. So everything that you'll ever be in on will have a move that you're weak to. So, you know, grass, water, ice, ghost, dark, bug. Like, all those moves are so easily, you know, used, you know, even without hidden power. So, yeah, Claydol, you're gone. Whitney, you died to a brick break, so you're out of here. Lairon, again, Mud Slap. And Mistress, knockoff. So, oh my gosh, this team is just so trash. If you look back at this team, how many Pokemon here are weak to fighting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Almost half my team is weak to fighting. Wow. I bunked up. I definitely bunked up. So yeah, this team is absolute trash. I'm gonna go 0-7. No chance of playoffs. I'm gonna get 6-0 each week. That's a rip. See you guys next season. I'm out. And another thing. How many of these Pokemon get just destroyed by themselves? Swallow is gonna die to its own Brave Bird. Shaymin gonna die to Healing Wish. Mesprit gonna die to Healing Wish. Claydol gonna just explode. You know, we got Memento users, and Hitmonlee is just gonna die to High Jump Kick. So, to its own High Jump Kick, because it's gonna miss. So, like, half of my team is pretty kamikaze already. Alomomola gets Healing Wish too, there goes another one. So, like, the only thing that these Pokemon can do is just die on their own. Yeah. No, seriously, guys. Yeah, this is all fun, and you know, this is the first time I'm in this sort of draft format, being tier 3 and below. I think this is the first time for everyone, for all the coaches. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, then like this video, comment on this video, share it with your friends, and click subscribe if you haven't already. And on that note, guys, I will see you all later. Peace.